Hello and welcome to my video. So in this video, I'll be doing a giant ceramic sculpture. Well, I guess you saw by the title, it is actually the largest ceramic sculpture failure I've ever had. Probably one of my biggest art failures, actually, as an artist. This project has taught me a lot through like the ups and downs, but this project, I decided I wanted to make a giant ceramic sculpture of a earth that was very like a super big earth sculpture that was out of complete raku clay. I used around 60 to 75 pounds of clay, which is a lot of raku clay. I talked about what raku clay was in the past video, but as you can see here, I covered a beach ball full of clay. I rolled out a bunch of slabs and then slipped and scored them all together. Now right here you can see the ball was not in good condition at all. So basically this is my legacy project of my high school career. So it's a project you leave behind after you graduate, as like kind of like a hoorah, you finished, you know, here you are, here's your legacy. And so for this project, the ball kept collapsing every time I like stopped working on it for a day or so, and then I put it into a trash bag so the clay didn't dry out, and I left it in the classroom. It would always, something bad would always happen to it. Like a piece would fall off, the thing would fall over, and then the whole thing would crack. And my teacher, Miss Johnson, didn't think I could get this project done. And well, I mean, you saw by the title, I didn't, sadly. So right here, I completed the whole ball. I finished the entire ball, and then when it dried out, it did this.
Well, it completely collapsed, and the ball's sitting right there, deflated. And I have to recycle the clay.
So basically what happened was I covered the entire ball full of raku clay, a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of like really heavy clay on that ball, and then the ball collapsed and all the air fell out of the ball, and the clay couldn't hold up or dry out fast enough, and so it fell down and collapsed on the ground. And I walked in the next day. It was a terrible defeat, to be honest. I really wanted this project to be amazing, and I just couldn't finish it in enough time. To be honest, I probably should have finished that project in 2 months, not 2 weeks, which is the time I had. I had like 1 week to finish the entire ball, and it was like a very ambitious project. So that's why I was thinking, I don't know, like maybe I can get this done. But I tried to push myself. Sadly, it didn't work out. But I bounced back. I rebounded. So basically what happened was I went home and I thought about this a lot. It took like a day or so to think about the project, because I was really sad. I wanted this project to look good. And so what I did was I found, as you're seeing here, rattan wood. So basically I used rattan wood. I bought this for my Cookie Monster costume I made for Halloween years back. But basically I found this in the basement. It's a very, very flexible wood that you can use for like sculpture work, framework, stuff like that, which is what I was thinking of using it for my Cookie Monster. But it worked perfectly to make this ball. And after making this ball, I actually used fishing wire, I used clear tape, and I used hot glue. I tried to stay away from the clear tape too much because it was going to make the ball look a little messy, or the wood look a little messy. But anyways, what I did was I wanted to make the earth sculpture, but just without clay, because I didn't have enough time to use clay until the end of the year, until I graduated. So I made this earth sculpture. This ball was very secure. Unlike my last one, the ceramics ball, or the one made out of clay, this one was not collapsing. I chucked it down the stairs, I threw it outside. It was not breaking at all. It was perfectly made. I honestly was pretty confident with the structure of this ball. So what I did was I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought, like, it's called Spanish moss, but it's basically like a fake moss. I've never worked with this before, so I didn't really know how to like work with it, or how to like what to expect. So what I did was I bought a yard full of green felt, and that kind of matched the color of the moss or around there. And then I used hot glue, I used epoxy glue, and then I glued, and as you can see here, I cut out the shapes of like the land masses or the continents of the earth, and then I glued a bunch of fake moss onto the felt that I had cut out into the shapes of the continents. And then what I did to attach this to the wood was I hot glued the wood, and then stuck the pieces of, or the continents of fake moss onto the wood. And the wood, I like the accent between the colors of the wood and the fake moss. The only thing I didn't like was after the ball was shaped by the fake moss, because the fake moss was a little heavy, and I burnt myself so many times. But since it was a little heavy, the fake moss was a little heavy, the ball kind of disformed a little bit. The structure was still perfect, and it was not collapsing on me, but it was just pushed a little bit like by the fake moss, and it kind of made the ball a little like more cylindrical rather than like a perfect sphere. If that makes sense, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't. I don't know if that makes sense. But basically, the only struggle I had at this point was just attaching the landmasses, and also the moss fell off a little bit when I shook the ball. You can see here, like, my table was full of my art table was full of fake moss. It was shedding a little bit due to like how much I've been cutting it and attaching it and moving it around. But yeah, this is the end result. I was expecting to use clay in this project, but I like how this came out. It was an interesting experience, and I definitely learned a lot from my mistakes. Maybe not work so big with ceramics and expect so much, but it was fun and I learned a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.